Welcome, guys, to episode 6 of the Pox Bill Show. Down there, I think he is. I'll point down there. Today, we've got a pretty special guest joining us. We've got my mate Shane. Shane and I have known each other for a number of years. We recently reconnected through some of our pursuits outside of our careers and had a few chuckles and laughs about our journey as friends and not friends and sporting. Not even enemies. We never really played against each other, but Shane's been involved in the sporting community for a number of years and has done a huge amount of great positive work. He's recently executed the first Power Strength and Vulnerability Cup, focusing on mental health, and now he's doing some great work with the Ringwood District and Cricket Association in the mental health space. But we're not here to talk about that with Shane today. You know, he gets enough kudos, he gets enough pats on the back for all that good stuff. We want to find out what the real Shane on the sporting field is when he's playing. I don't even know what the lower grades are in RDCA are. Let's call it grade H or whatever he's been in the lower grades. Let's find out about Shane's cricketing journey and just some great stories. So I'll hand it over to you, Shane. Give yourself a bit of an introduction. Let's find out more about just what you've been up to on the cricketing field over the last 20 years.
I'll start off by saying I actually played in a ones flag, so you can probably cut me off the show now if you want.
We
should have episode.
Yeah, but in saying that, that's where the duck story will come in. So you can, I'll throw myself under the bus there a little bit, but played cricket since I was 8, 9. I guess my first, funny story was in under 12s. We changed captains every game like you do in juniors, and then it got to the finals and everyone had to vote for a captain. And there was 13 people voted and 12 voted for me as captain. And one of them was me. I voted for myself. I was pretty confident as an 11-year-old. And I tell you what, the guy that didn't vote for me, I still hold a grudge to this day. I don't know why he didn't like me, but everyone else voted for me. So, and then, I've played right through the grades and played some good lower grade cricket. And then I've been fortunate, I'll say fortunate enough, because I don't think my ability is a first 11 player. So I'm a bit of a slogger, opening batter. So, still playing now and loving my cricket.
So do they go hand in hand, the old opening the bat and slogging? Or it doesn't seem to marry up to my thoughts on cricket.
No, it doesn't. But I had a couple of hip surgeries 3 or 4 years ago, and the captain at the time didn't know who I was really, and he didn't know. Like I'd won a batting average in the twos a few years ago, but he had no idea, and he was batting me at 7, and the opening batter didn't turn up. And he just goes, "Oh, you just go in and open." I'd actually never opened before, and I think I got 20 off about 10 balls. And he goes, "Oh, you may as well just open every week and get us off to a good start." And I think for 2 years I probably averaged 30, but my strike rate would have been 220 at opening the bat. I was never out there for longer than 10, 12 overs, except one game. I think I was out there for 30 overs, but I reckon I missed the ball 60 times through the innings. It was absolutely deplorable.
It sounds a lot like a wonderful 49 that Pox made. I think it was last season or the season. No, season before.
Yeah.
He must have been out there for, I don't know, it was 4 days at least.
32 overs of the 35 over innings.
could not hit a goddamn thing. Has actually got himself to a point where you thought he's actually coming good here, and has had a wild swipe at one. And nice little tickle through to the keeper and see you later. 49, bad luck, no 50 for you. Shove that at you.
You're selling it short. I'll get to it, and then we'll get the footage out. I'm positive Wirtz has still got it.
Definitely still got the footage.
Yeah, one of my mates and I have been, shout out Wirtz, you're still a ranger. We've been having this competition for years around who's going to hit the first 6. I beat him and then I hit another 5. I think it took him another 2 years to hit a 6, bomb squad. And then we were having a competition who was going to hit the first 50. We're that bad at cricket that, making a 50 is like a life achievement. And at Belgrave, we get mugs every time we make a 50. And so earlier that season, similar to you, Shane, Bill and I were going to the wrestling. We spoke about this in an earlier episode. We both opened the batting, had no right to be opening the batting, with the sole intention of doing what you do, slogging at a strike rate of 250 and maybe making a swashbuckling 10 and going and seeing Kevin Nash and The Undertaker at the MCG. Bill played his role. He went out, third ball?
It was very first nut of the year. It was good.
Yeah, first ball.
Right
First
way
ball
to
of the
start
year.
the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened. I was seeing them like beach balls, and somehow I made the best 60, which we've now turned into 150 you've ever seen. But we're not here to talk about that. I did make us late to the wrestling. Sorry, Bill. I've never said sorry. What we're talking about is that 49. So it was terrible innings. I was edging everything. Even the most medium puss bowlers in Division 8 could not see a thing. And finally got myself into it. But then Wirtz, our mate Wirtz, who have had the 6 and 50 competition, he gets the camera out and he's sitting on the fence. And he knows that straight away going, oh shit, I'm on 48, 49 here. And I was in my rhythm. I found my rhythm, and then I'm like, no, I'm getting this on camera. I'm going to smack a 4 and raise the bat and go, that's 2, mate. And, that's 2 50s. You've got none. And so, yeah, Wirtz is standing at the fence doing this. And I take a wild swing at one outside off, edge it straight to first slip, and he's got it on camera. And it's just me trudging off the field with my after 32 overs of the worst batting you've ever seen. So I might pause it here. Let's dig up the footage. Let's roll to that, and then we'll come back and carry on with Shane. Oh, wow. That is shocking. Well done to Wirtz for actively putting the balls on. Like, I can't begin to describe how much you got in my head. Well played.
That's 2 episodes in a row that Werder has got you out with the old camera too.
Yeah, but he's still not coming on because he's just he's not coming on.
No, I think we need him to come on just so that we can talk about the day that he and I both threw away 50s.
Just muted himself.
That is village. You muted yourself. Let's move on from Bill. He's in a world of pain. One of the things.
Well, I've actually got a 49 story as well.
Go for it.
I was batting and I got bounced and the ball flew off my helmet and they called it runs, and as I was running down to the other end, I said to the umpire, well, it came off my helmet, like it missed my bat by half a foot.
Yeah.
And he changed his decision to leg bias, and then I went out the next ball I faced and I came off the ground and the boys are like, what were you doing? They're like, you're on 49, you idiot. That would have made you 50. And I'm like, oh my God. And I've never since corrected an umpire since then, because I was too honest for my own good, but then you realise you get some absolute stinkers, and you can't change them. So I won't be changing any runs I'm given in the future.
That is brilliant. You've cost yourself a 50. I think that's better than mine. How does an umpire see a ball hit a helmet and call that run?
Oh, it was absolutely wild. I couldn't believe it. I was laughing, and I think that's what sort of kind of gave it away as well. And obviously bowlers don't like any runs coming off their figures, so the bowler was very quick to turn around as well.
I think the only thing I'm going to call you out on in that story is clearly that was in a higher grade, because you won't see any of us lower grade cricketers wearing a lid.
No, I actually think it might have been a final, so we had an umpire.
There's no chance either that there's anybody in a lower grade that's going to turn around and go, right, I'll reverse my decision here. It's like, the runs are fine, mate. Just keep going.
Yeah.
I think we've discovered Shane's on a journey to becoming a lower grade cricketer. He's had a bit of a stint up the top, but now he's got the slogging. In 5 years' time, mate, I cannot wait to touch base again to see your lower grade, what you've been up to.
I'll be honest, I'm on the way back down. It was a quick little stint up there. I played probably 15 first 11 games, but averaged probably 7 or 8 batting it. I was a token, probably batted at 7 or 9 most innings as a bat. So the bowlers batted before me, or pinched hit as an opener in the one days. But I was that one day specialist that somehow got a game come the end of the year, because there was no one else. There genuinely was no one else.
You were a bowler as well?
I used to be a bowler, yeah. So
yeah, disappointing. I would have really loved to have seen a number 8 bat doesn't bowl. That's peak village cricket.
Well, that was. I'll go back to the once grand final. That's where I was batting. I was meant to be an 8, I think. No, yeah, came out at 8. Didn't bowl. fielded mid on, mid off. And yeah, I may as well tell the story because
Yeah, go for it.
we ended up winning the flag, but I think we bowled them out for 100 odd against Wonga Park, and Simon Young picked up probably one of the best fifers I've ever seen. And then we were cruising, absolutely cruising, and then Simon decided to run himself out when the scores were level. He wanted to go for the second to win the game. And there was no two there, absolutely no two there. So I've had to come out to bat. And I'm thinking, just need one run. And then if we get another 10, 12, 15 in front, they'll probably pull the pin. First ball, 3 stumps just out of the ground. Just absolutely everywhere. And I'm like...
So not only was it a first baller, you also threw away the glory of hitting the winning runs.
Yeah. And then
genius.
Led to a... So Simon got run out. I was bowled. And then I'm cursing myself in the rooms, like, what the fuck have I done? And all of a sudden I hear a big cheer. The next bloke that's come in hit one straight to gully. So we lost 3 for none when the scores were level. And I think it must have been 9 down. So we ended up getting 15 in front and losing the wicket. And they went out for the slog and hit 130 in 10 overs or 15 overs. And we had to defend for our lives. They ended up, Wonga Park got more runs and more wickets in the game, but we still got the Premiership Cup. So I don't know.
That's a village one's flag.
Oh, it was incredible. And I'll be honest, I was probably carried, and there was probably 2 or 3 others that were carried right throughout the season. So
look, that is good. You've made us rethink our approach to ones cricket. Why don't we get more ones cricketers who are on here who are just absolute village, nearly cost the grand final, win a grand final when mathematically they didn't win.
Oh, it was. I think they only lost 11 wickets, and we lost 15. And yeah, they were like 70 runs behind them by the end of the day. So yeah, it was actually a great way to win a grand final. I don't think anyone can really say they actually lost but won.
So we've spoken on previous episodes with a couple of people about post-season antics. So, Bill and I had some funny stories from our convincing grand final loss in Division 8, a far cry from the top grade of RDCA. Are there any stories you can share about the post-match celebrations that are pretty funny for our viewers?
Probably some that I definitely can't share.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember after that flag. I don't remember. I got picked up from the back gutter of the club rooms by my fiancée, and I'll throw myself under the bus again. I didn't know this, but the next day she told me. She was pretty angry with me, but apparently I was driving in the car and I said, "Uber driver, can you please pull over? I need to throw up." And she was the one driving the car. So I thought she was the Uber driver. So that was pretty messy. And then I guess when I was probably 17, 18, we had the ones won a flag. I was, fought then and played a bit of chair bowling. So we set up 10 chairs and we'd run up and just throw one bloke into the chairs. And that was a pretty long night. And I think that day I actually slept through my work alarm, and my boss wasn't happy and actually sent me a message about 1:30 after about 20 missed calls and said, "Don't bother coming back this week." And I took him seriously, but apparently he was just really angry. So went in the next Monday and got a pretty stern conversation. So I haven't done that again. I've turned up no matter what time it was.
That would have topped it off. You've gone out for a duck. You've nearly cost the team the grand final, and you got sacked, and you got dumped.
But loved it all the same.
Oh, for sure. You and I have had a number of chats about many different areas of life. One of them, which we spoke about recently on your podcast, which I'll give it a plug if you want at any stage, was anger. Now, anger in sport is pretty funny at times. We've all got white line fever. Bill,
one of my favourites.
Yeah. Every time I watch Bill, I think he's going to headbutt someone or punch him. One time I rocked up I was opening the batting again that same season, shouldn't have been opening the batting. I'm pretty lazy with cricket. I only do it to talk smack. And I rocked up 3 minutes, maybe 2 minutes before the game starts. Bill's like, "What are you doing rocking up so late? Put your pads on, we're batting." And then I'm like, "Calm down, bro. Like, I'll put them on." So I slapped them on really quickly, went out, proceeded to bat like absolute shit. And I think I was back in the pavilion for a duck after 5 balls or something. And Bill gives me the biggest spray. He's like, "See what happens when you don't prepare properly?" I'm like, "Mate, it's Division 8. Calm down." But, all in good.
Cost us the flag.
Yeah, it cost us the flag.
That point right there.
Yeah, pivotal moment. Pox rocking up 2 minutes before the game cost us a Division 8 premiership. Thank you, Summers. You can thank me. But, yeah, Bill's a bit of a hothead. I'm a bit of a jokester. Tell us either one of your best banter stories or best white line fever stories from your cricketing career.
Well, there's probably 2 that come to mind. One was under 16s actually, when I could bowl with a bit of pace. It's against Wantirna South, and I think it was last game of the year, and we were 8 and zip, and we were pretty cocky and arrogant for a bunch of 15-year-olds, and I came into bowl, and I think I got 2 pretty quick ones, and then I bowled a bouncer at this kid and hit him right in the helmet. And we started giving it to him, and he walked down the wicket and said, "I dare you to bowl another one to me," with a few explicits in there. So I bought in. I got a few helmets out for the boys and got them to field right under the lid at 15, 16. I think the coach was too happy. So I bowled another one and hit him in the head again, and he wasn't happy. And I said, "I'll give you another one," and then I actually bowled him out. Next ball, middle stump out of the ground. So that was probably the best I've been involved with. But at Wantirna South in the seniors, they absolutely gave it to me one week. It was hilarious. Like I was laughing the whole time, but because I was batting all right. And the following week, I came out and I was like, "They're going to give it to me again all day. They're just going to give it to me," because I started to react a little bit, and then they didn't say one word to me. Not one word. And we were having a beer after the game, and I said I was expecting a lot of talk, and they actually had a team meeting at the end of the game and said, "We can't fire Kelts up because that's when he bats his best, so we've just got to stay silent when he's out there because that'll frustrate him." So a lot of teams for me stay silent because I give it back. I don't really care. It's all good fun to me. I'll walk off the field and have a beer with everyone. So yeah, they're probably the two that come to mind for me, both against the same team. So,
question for me, in the under 16s example, what was the send-off like? You've clearly had about 5 minutes of back and forth with this bloke. You've rattled his stumps. They've gone everywhere. Surely it was back that way, or there was something good about it.
To be honest, I started giving it to the non-striker because he said a couple of things as well, but it was the other boys under the lid. They basically formed the guard of honour for him to walk off. They stood within 1 metre and he had to walk through the middle of them. It was an absolute pisser. So on the day, I actually robbed a mate of the bowling average. Like I had no right. It was 9 wickets to qualify. I had 4 before that day and got 5 for 6 or something. And but I was on a hat trick and they only had 10 blokes, and I was like, "Just send out another one, and I was like, send them all out again. We'll go through them again." It was just funny how us as 15-year-olds was just so arrogant, and it cost us because the next week we ended up losing by about 180 runs in the semi-final. So we went undefeated for 9 games, and in the semi-final we got our pants pulled down. So it wasn't great.
My very first season at Belgrave, undefeated for the entire season. Stole a couple of wins along the way too. Got to the semi, playing against a team we'd beaten twice during the year, and rolled for 80. Had them pass us 8 down. It's ripper. Loved it.
I reckon that's probably the only sport where there's one bad day can just be, it just sends you. If 10 blokes can't bat for one day, you're done.
I've got the opposite. So one of the only flags I won in cricket was in the under 16s, Croydon North, and we finished 4th. We just scraped into 4th. I think we won round 9 by 150 runs or something, and scraped in by just barely as you could get in. And then we came up against top of the ladder and they were undefeated, and then we rolled them. I came in at 6 for 40 odd and made a 46, and again threw my wicket away trying to bring up the 50 before. There's a bit of a recurring theme with me. Maybe I've got a little bit of that confidence in me too as well, Kelts.
You make out as though you're not trying to hit every ball for 4 before that, though, mate. Like, you know.
Yeah, fair point. So
Yeah,
11 balls came off beforehand, and I hit 44. But we ended up getting into the grand final, and then the next weekend, we had no right to be in there. We were playing against second. A couple of guys just played out of their skins. And in under 16s, off 50 overs, we ended up making 340 odd. And then I opened the bowling. This is a ripper. I forgot about this story. On the Sunday, I opened the bowling in the grand final. Second ball, running in, and express, no headband, but express. And I've just approached the centre umpire, and I've just let out this ripper of a fart mid-bowl. And then on striker, the batsman, everyone has just lost their shit. I've bowled a wide, and it's just thrown everyone's mojo out because nobody had any idea what was going on. And then we ended up getting, I ended up getting 2 wickets in the first over, and they were chasing 340, 2 for none down against a side that had no right to be in the finals, and we got there. So, yeah, I don't know why I told that story. That was pretty shit, but I farted. And it was funny. Rightio, guys. I think in the interest of time, we might wrap it up there. Shane, is there anything else you want to talk about your cricket career? Any shout outs for the work that you're doing? Now's your time before we wrap it up.
I'll just, if there's any blokes in the Furniture Gully League that want to we ran a charity match this year for mental health, and got sort of 30 of the best cricketers in the RDCA and a few from Premier Cricket. And if there's any Furniture Gully cricketers that want to come and be involved in the day, send me a message, or send the boys a message, and we'll tee something up. We'll run that again in February, and it'd be good to get guys from other associations involved in something that hopefully we're continuing to grow in the Power, Strength and Vulnerability Cup, which is the brand. I've got the beanie here. So if people want to check that out, they can check that out and support the cause. It's all the money goes to Mindful Oz at the moment, because I got accepted onto a TV show next year, so everything goes to that. So
awesome,
excellent.
mate. I'll put a link into the comments. What I'll do, Bill, we've spoken a lot about Johnny Lavelle appearing on the show. Something like the Power, Strength and Vulnerability Cup seems that he should probably make an appearance in there. He's such a shit bloke, and he really needs to give back more to the community. What are your thoughts, Bill? Are we putting the challenge out to Johnny or Bruns?
Oh, look, it'd be the thing that if he ever thinks he's getting on the show, he'd have to put his hand up for something like this to to get himself over the line. But no promises, no promises.
You might win a fever medal, Johnny. You might win flags. You might make tons, but you're still a terrible bloke. Get in contact with Kelts to sign up for the PSV Cup, and then maybe you might get on the show, mate. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for joining us, Shane. Really appreciate your stories. And if anybody has any guests or recommendations for episode 7, drop them in the comments, and we'll talk to you then. See you guys.
See you guys.